Hey, sports fans. This is Robert with WTP Sports Dudes going live tonight, waiting on a few guests to come in so that we can talk a little bit of Ohio State Buckeyes football schedule preview. So hopefully we get some guests to come in so that way we can go live and do our thing, talking Ohio State football. So hopefully we'll be able to do that. Just waiting on our guests to come in so we can get all over. Making sure I got everything squared away here.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What's up, Cuz?
What's good, buddy?
Oh, nothing much. Glad you can make it.
Yes,
Yeah, I
sir.
can hear you.
You know I'm gonna get in here, man. Get you, try to get it going. Had to get. I was a little under the weather for some reason today, but I'm getting it together. Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. See, I don't need to do nothing. I don't need to do nothing else, right?
Nope, you don't need to do nothing else. We all good.
All right, cool.
Yeah. All right, so how's your week been?
Man, it's Monday, man. So just another week, man. Ready for some real football. You know how it is, man. We watched the preseason and we got a little taste of Florida State and Georgia Tech this weekend, and I must say I never seen that coming. But anything can happen on any given Saturday, or any given Sunday, as they say. As you see, Georgia Tech went out there to Ireland, and they came to win. You know, so
Yeah, yeah,
I'm just
they definitely did.
hoping my Buckeyes don't have you know a slip up like that ever.
Right, right, right. I feel you. I feel you. Yeah, I watched that game too, at least the first three quarters, and then I caught the end of it, and I was shocked, man. I did not believe that Georgia Tech was going to be able to outlast Florida State
Right.
and pull that game out, but they did. So, like you said, anything can happen on any given Saturday in college football.
Exactly, man. I had Florida State in my parlay, of course, and they were a big favorite. So then, as I seen the game still being close, I went back in and I bet on Georgia Tech to that
Oh, you
way.
did.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you get your money back when you see a game that's close and you got a parlay. What you try to do is go in and package that game like Georgia Tech they were still at a plus. So they
Right, right.
wasn't really, people didn't think they was going to hold on to win. So I actually ended up making more money taking them and putting them with some other things like Angel Reese, man. She's, the WNBA, she's been a walking double double for 22 games now. So she's a solid bet every time. So I tell people, if you're going to gamble, put Angel Reese for a double double every time. She won't let you down.
Right. Is it true that she had three straight games with
20,
20 rebounds
20
or
plus,
more?
bro. Three straight.
Wow.
I won money on all three. I mean, I've been winning money on her all season, man.
Right.
Her and Caitlin Clark are money in the bank.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I know a lot of people don't do the sports book gambling, but if you get into it, she's a good bet, man. Her. Then you got baseball. I know we jumping off the topic, but we got baseball. Otani for the Dodgers, and the boy Judge for the Yankees. Man, they've been money all season with the home
Oh,
runs.
right,
So
right.
we're gonna get back on these Buckeyes because I'm claiming they're gonna be money. They spent 20 million on the NIL to build that roster. So yeah, I don't see them failing this year. But let's get into whatever you want to do, whatever you want to review. Let's do it.
Okay, cool, cool. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna do the OSU schedule preview. And so
Okay.
what will happen is I'll tell you who they're playing. You give me a breakdown on what you think is going to take place in that game, and then let me know if they're going to win or lose, or if it's going to be a close game or whatever.
Right.
Is that cool?
Oh yeah.
All right. So this Saturday, they got the Akron Zips in the shoe. What's your thoughts?
Man, I love it. I love Akron. I got a son up at Kent State, and I got family in Canton and Akron. But this is basically a scrimmage, man. We paying them some good money to come in and you know and be a pretty much a tune up. We're gonna probably see a lot of guys that you wouldn't see normally play if the score gets out of hand. You may see the backup quarterbacks. A lot of backups. So that's what I'm looking at this game as pretty much a scrimmage. It's a tune up. And it's not to be overconfident, but that's what it is, man. We haven't lost to an Ohio team in state for I believe 90 plus seasons now. So you
Wow.
know, it
Wow.
is what it is.
Yeah. And I can see them it being just a tune-up game because the Buckeyes are favored by 50 points.
I mean, yeah,
That is nuts.
go
50 points.
figure.
And the over and under is 59. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Imagine taking the under. Imagine taking Akron and they prevail. You'll make a nice piece of money off of Akron.
Right. Yeah. So our next game is Western Michigan in the shoe. Who you got?
Western Michigan. Okay, let me see. Don't know much about Western Michigan. Let's see. Let's go. The Western Michigan Broncos. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much another tune-up game. Ohio State being gracious as they are, giving an opponent an opportunity to come to the shoe and make a nice payday. But as they say, you got the cupcakes on the schedule to warm up for the big games down the road. So that's what I look at this as another pretty much a tune-up game. You know.
Yeah, you made a valid point. The teams put these kind of games on the schedule so that they can play multiple players, so that when the season gets in to the heart of it, they got guys they can count on to come in and get some good minutes later on down the road. So it's always wise to give your schedule some tune-up games. I mean, that's just everybody does that.
Everybody.
Yeah.
And everybody, and it benefits the colleges. It benefits those smaller schools because their academic department, they can use the financial support. So it's a good thing. It works both. It works both ways, and it's national. So a lot of these players who wouldn't normally get to be seen on TV, they get to be on the national spotlight. So that's a good
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, it's definitely a win-win. So
Yes.
then they have a bye in that third week.
Huh.
And then they have Marshall in the shoe. What's your thoughts on Marshall and the Bucks in the shoe?
Marshall, the Thundering Herd out of Huntington, West Virginia. I mean, that's where my father. That's his hometown. Marshall is his hometown. So I have some family in Huntington, and they really love their Thundering Herd out there. They have a lot of pride out West Virginia. But once again, it will be another tune-up. So they'll be a good opponent. They'll play hard, but at the end, the Buckeyes will prevail. What's the line on that one?
Yeah, I don't know the line on that
You
one.
don't know it yet? Yes, yeah. So I
Yeah,
don't know what the opening line will be, but I'm pretty sure it'll be over, 20, 25 points. I'm sure. So it's another game on the road to what we're trying to get to. At the end of the day, that's probably the last game before the Big Ten season kicks off.
yeah, definitely. Because next up is at Michigan State. What's your thoughts on that one?
At Michigan State, they always are a tough opponent, man. You can never take them for granted. It's been a lot of times when we went in there and we took them for granted. and they put an L on us. So I don't take any Big Ten teams for granted, man. Because on any given Saturday, they'll play their best game. We're gonna get their best shot for sure up in East Lansing. So yeah, I'm not taking them lightly, but I expect the Buckeyes to prevail. Hopefully, they won't be looking ahead to the next week. Because I believe they have that big showdown in Eugene. Or no, maybe they're playing Iowa. But I hope they're not looking ahead, man. You gotta focus on the business at hand. And Michigan State is an opponent that you need to be focused on. You can't take them lightly. It's a Big Ten game, and they are a Big Ten school. And they're going to play with something to prove for sure.
Yeah, you're right there. Anytime any of those Big Ten teams play Ohio State, that's like their Super Bowl. So they gonna come to play, even though I don't think they're gonna win. They're gonna come to play. And
Yes,
I think right now you got your Buckeyes at 4-0.
4-0.
The next up on their schedule is Iowa in the shoe. What's your thoughts on Iowa in the shoe?
Iowa in the shoe. That's the top 25 opponent. They always play solid defense, so you cannot take them lightly. As long as the Buckeyes offense is, it comes to play, I think we can put enough points up to where Iowa won't be able to catch up. But they have a good defense, so we'll definitely be tested. We'll definitely be tested. They're ranked 25th in the country right now, so that's when you get into to start seeing those ranked opponents. So that's one of the ranked opponents in the Big Ten. So, like I said, I'm not going to take Michigan State lightly. I'm not going to take Iowa lightly, especially with that defense.
Yeah, I feel you on that. And now we are at that game you was mentioning in Eugene, Oregon against the Oregon Ducks. What's your thoughts on that one?
That's that will be the test. If the Buckeyes make it to that game 5-0, that will be a top 5 showdown because the Ducks are currently number 3 behind Ohio State, who's number 2. So it'll be a must-see TV, and it'll be a battle. It's Oregon's first year in the Big Ten, so we'll find out about the speed of Oregon, up against the physical nature of Ohio State, and the ground and pound nature of the Big Ten. So this is going to be definitely must-see TV. It's like a heavyweight fight. 6 weeks into the schedule, man. So I can't call it either way. That's an away game. It's going to be a hostile environment. I'm ready for it. It's going to be exciting. So I don't think whoever loses this game, they'll still be in contention for the playoffs. That's the good thing about it because this is a good win. It's a great win and a good loss if you do lose because it's a top 3 opponent. So that won't knock either one of them out of the contention for the 12-team playoff. So I'm ready for it, man. I'm excited. I'm glad that they have these new teams in the Big Ten. It makes the conference much more competitive and exciting. It's not always about Ohio State and Michigan anymore. You got Oregon in there, you got USC, and you got Washington and UCLA. I mean, eventually UCLA probably will get back to prominence. But, this is going to be a great matchup. What do you think? What do you think? What do you see
I,
happening this one?
I think it's going to be a really good matchup. But what I'm thinking that Oregon is not going to be able to sustain an offense against that Ohio State defense. And I don't think they're going to have the lines of scrimmage to be able to contend with Ohio State. And in the fourth quarter, Ohio State going to pull it out and win by a score or by 10 points at the most. That's
Okay.
what I think is going to happen. They're just going to get wore down by Ohio State's physicality with their front 7 on defense and them 5 offensive linemen on offense. I don't think Oregon is ready for that kind of physicality.
All right, man. Hey, I hope you're right. It's definitely gonna be must see TV. I'm
Oh,
sure.
for sure.
I'm sure
I'm,
whoever
yeah,
prevails that game will be they'll be they'll be set up, great for the end of the season, man. It's a matter, because you look at that game, you're gonna have that. You got, you still got what 6, 7, 8 more contests after that. So I mean, I think so. It's like there's no games off, man.
yeah. There's no games off. I wonder if that game is the same weekend as another high profile game. I wonder who's going to get college game day that week. I would imagine they'll be in Eugene, Oregon, but I
Yeah.
wonder who else is on the schedule that week. That would be interesting to see.
Well, I mean, he's just number 2 and number 3 right now, so
Yeah,
I don't see nobody trumping that, that week. Um,
right.
because you got Georgia at number 1. I don't know who they might be playing that week, but I don't see them putting another big game. Yeah, and then they could put it, another big game on, on another network. I'm sure
Yeah,
college game day definitely probably be on that one.
right, right. Because I don't think Georgia played Texas till the following week, so I don't think that they would be there
Right.
at that time.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's interesting. So we just gonna go with an even push right there for now.
Right.
Yeah,
Do that because it's an away game, and the Buckeyes should know who they are pretty much by that game. On offense and defense. So
yeah, definitely,
Duck-
definitely.
Ducks will know who they are also because they got some games before that. So it'll be a great matchup, I'm sure. So right
Yeah,
now
definitely,
we'll
definitely.
hold serve on it.
Yeah. And so they have a bye after this Oregon game, which I think is critical
Yeah,
because now you get to regroup and get ready for that last half of the season. Now, whoever made this schedule, they must have knew that this was a good idea
right,
because they did that favor for the Buckeyes and they got a bye after that big game, and then they get Nebraska in the shoe.
right. Nebraska and that's our boy Onion's favorite team. Onion and Brian Harris. They love the Cornhuskers. So it'll be must see TV. We can all get together maybe and watch that one together. That's gonna be a good game. I mean, we got who's our boy up there? Is that Luke Fickle up there? Who's the coach up there?
In Wisconsin, that they got the dude
No,
from
West
Baylor that went to the NFL.
Who's their coach now? Nebraska.
What's the guy's name? He went to the NFL after he left Baylor. He did like 1 or 2 years in the NFL and then they kicked him back down.
Because the one
Dad,
guy,
what is his name?
one coach is not there anymore. I don't think. Let's see.
What is
Well,
dude's name?
at any rate, it's definitely gonna be a good game, man. Nebraska's been putting some stuff together. I seen they've been doing some great recruiting. So that's gonna be a great game too. It's not gonna be easy. Like I said, you can't take any of these Big Ten teams for granted, man. Everybody's spending money to get the top talent. So everybody can't go. The kids that can't all go to the big power fives. Hey, these other schools, man, they're gonna be a force to be reckoned with. Nebraska has a good program, so Ohio State. Luckily, it be coming off that bye, so it'll probably be a nice physical matchup. Between two Big Ten teams.
Yeah, I think it'll be a good matchup too, but I think talent wise, Ohio State will be a little bit too much for them in the second half, and then they'll start to pull away from them, especially if Nebraska can take care of the football, they can make it a game in the first half. But if they have a bunch of turnovers, then they can cancel Christmas because
Yeah,
they'll get out talented in that second half.
right. Okay.
Yeah,
I hear you. I'm all for that. So we got Oregon at a push, and then we say Ohio State gonna win the Nebraska game. So right now
yeah.
we
All
have
right, so that next game is another big game. Whiteout
whiteout.
at Penn State. What's
Happy
your thoughts on that one? Woo!
Happy Valley, James Franklin, man. He's trying to get over the hump. He hasn't beat Ohio State. You know, he hasn't beat Michigan, I don't believe. He hasn't beat us, I know for sure. So he's going to be definitely motivated to try to get that one for his Nittany Lions. So that'll be another, like I said, another 5-star matchup. You know, 5-star matchup in Happy Valley. So the Buckeyes will have to be prepared mentally and physically. Hopefully, there'll be no letdowns. So I'm still going to take us to win. You know, because I think the talent will outshine. You know, the Nittany Lions. I think our offense and our defense is just too strong, man. So I'm taking my Buckeyes once
Yeah,
again.
I agree with you on that one too. I think that the defensive line for the Buckeyes, especially those edge guys, they're gonna get that quarterback all kinds of fits, and he just gonna melt down like he done last year. And I
Yeah,
don't think he's gonna be able to get it done, even though it's gonna be in Happy Valley. I got the Buckeyes winning that game too,
yeah,
pulling it out and really taking advantage of them in the second quarter for sure. I
yeah.
mean, in the second half for sure. Yeah,
Yeah. They'll win that one by at least 10.
yeah. All right, well they're gonna get a little break because they're gonna get Purdue in the shoe.
We're doing the
What's your
shoe.
thoughts on that?
We're doing the shoe should be a pretty much should be a pretty easy game. You know, the Boilermakers haven't been pretty forced in a long time, so it'll be another physical game, of course, because they'll give us their best shot. But in the end of the day, we'll be too much for them, and we'll win by double digits for sure.
Yeah, y'all can see them definitely beating them by 20 or more for sure in
Yes,
that game.
yeah.
And I hope my man Hudson Card can have a halfway decent game, but I think they're gonna kill Hudson Card. Transferred from Texas a couple of years ago. I think they're gonna kill
Oh,
Hudson Card.
Hudson
Yeah,
Card.
yeah, Hudson Card. Yeah, he's actually a decent quarterback,
Oh,
man. But he not without no line, man. He gonna be running for his life like he did last year.
well,
Yeah.
it
So
is
then you're on the road to Northwestern.
Northwestern up in Illinois. That'll be, it'll be hard fought early on because I think we like to play down sometimes to opponents that we shouldn't. But then at the end of the day, we'll still I think we'll still beat them pretty bad. But they'll start off and give us their best shot. But I think we'll beat them pretty bad, and that'll be another win. Lock it in.
Yeah, I think so too. I think Northwestern ain't got a chance in AT double hockey sticks in this game. I mean, it's just now you can really see the talent disparity with
Yeah,
Ohio State against some of those guys that just the football ain't their thing. You know, it's an academic school,
yeah.
and they ain't trying to really try to get on that field like that. You
No,
know?
no, they
So
got
the talent that Ohio State is bringing, especially because they keep plucking all these dudes out of Texas, man. I don't know why we can get a hold on that, man. Like, come on, man. Why y'all coming all the way up north? You got a good school right there in Texas.
they coming to get your boys, man.
Right,
No way.
right. Yeah, for sure. But I see them killing Northwestern. Then they got Indiana at the crib in the shoe. What's your thoughts on that?
Indiana, the Hoosiers. That's a basketball program. They play football, but at the end of the day, we all know what they're known for. And that's thanks in part to the legendary Bob Knight. You know what I'm saying? He was he made put Indiana on the map. He was an Ohio State alumni who put the Hoosiers on the map. But at the end of the day, yeah, we'll smack them because we'll be looking ahead to that finale next week.
Right.
You know what that? You know which one that is.
Listen, let's get this one over with right now in the first quarter so we get ready for them dudes up north. Yeah, for sure. I can definitely see them going out with that mentality so they can get ready to send that message to Michigan. Listen, you ain't coming in the shoe with none of that. So what's your thoughts on Michigan in the shoe in the season finale? The grand is it? They ain't the granddaddy of them all. That's the Rose Bowl, right?
No, this is the what they call it. The it's the biggest rivalry. I can't think what they call it, but it is the top rivalry game. Supposedly, it's what they say every year. So that's going to be, this is the game that we all marked on our calendars for the last 3 seasons, man. This is what we spent $20 million on our roster because they have gotten us the last 3 seasons, and it makes no sense to me. But they did what they needed to do. So it's our turn. It's our turn to turn the tables on them in the shoe. I don't see us. I don't even see it, being close. In my opinion, Harbaugh's not there. We have a point to prove this year. So it'll be tough starting off. It's always a tough game starting off, but Ohio State will have a mentality of this is what it's all about. We brought all these players together to beat Michigan, to get back on the right path. So as a fan, I'm looking forward to it. I wish we could skip all the other games. Because I've been, man, November hasn't been that long ago. It's funny, we lost that last one up there in Michigan. And, as soon as that one was over, I was looking forward to this year. So that's how a lot of fans, I'm sure, are like that. You've heard all the talk from the blue fans and all that. It's like, all right, yeah, whatever. I'm ready to get it on. So I can't wait. I'm looking forward to November 30th at 12 p.m. in the shoe. The Buckeyes will prevail. And I think they will be the number 1 seed going into the college football playoff for the 12-team tournament this year after this win, a resounding win in the shoe. So that's my thoughts. I think we will be, I'm going to go ahead and say, I think we'll be undefeated. I'm going to go ahead and, I know the Oregon game is going to be a tough game, but that will be a win for the Buckeyes. And, I think they'll be undefeated going into the playoff. And, it's whatever then, you know what I'm saying? It's whatever after that. That's my confidence level about what Ryan needs to do.
I could definitely see them going undefeated. I really, when I did my preview on the Buckeyes, I was saying to myself, nobody's going undefeated this college football season. But then when you look at it, you're like, well, who can you confidently say is going to beat Ohio State? Who's confidently can you think is going to beat Georgia? Who can you say confidently is going to beat, some of those other teams? And I couldn't confidently say anybody in the Big Ten was going to beat the Buckeyes. So I had to say they have a very good chance of going undefeated. And I see Kip is in the chat. He's saying he's talking a little bit of trash right now. But I'm quite sure if the Buckeyes win that game on November 30th, Facebook will be so quiet you can hear crickets chirping.
Well, it'll be quiet for the blue fans, but the Buckeyes will be resoundingly loud.
For sure.
It'll be great because here in Columbus, so I'm taking all bets. I've already put a few bets on Facebook, so I'm like, man, I'm looking forward to that money because it's Black Friday coming up. But it'll already be Black Friday, but I'm looking to get some of my money back.
He said, I'm going to go spend this Christmas money, but I'm getting some of it back on the Michigan fans. I'm buying Christmas gifts on Michigan fans.
Man, they got me 3 years in a row, man. And I didn't see that happening. Really, Justin Fields was the last quarterback to beat them, because they took the next year off talking about COVID.
Oh, yeah.
So then, we get Stroud in there, and we haven't beaten them since. Well, we haven't beaten them since. So, hey, it is what it is, man. They got us the last 3. So, hats off to them. I'm not a hater. I'm not a hater. They do have the winningest program in college football. So I figured they would have to put them back on the map at some point. And Harbaugh did his job. So like to say he cheated, whatever. But I said, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. He ain't doing no more than the next team. So they did their homework and they got it done. They've had our number. But this year's time we turn the tables back, so they might as well get used to it. I'm claiming it.
I'm claiming it. Have you looked at any of the other conferences and who you think is going to be the champion in those conferences that's going to fill in those top 4 slots? Since the Buckeyes is going to be in the 1 slot, who you think is going to fill the 2, 3, and 4?
I looked at I think Georgia and Clemson. Do Georgia and Clemson play?
They play this Saturday. They play.
Right. So, and that's a neutral site, I believe. It's not at Georgia, right?
No, I think it's a neutral site.
Neutral site. So, I mean, that's going to tell a lot. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be a good game. So I don't know. And Alabama hasn't. People think Alabama's fell off. They haven't fallen off, man. They just got a new coach. But that program is always going to be strong. So you don't, and I know Texas has got a strong program too. So you really don't know, man. The SEC is going to be. It's always been rough and tough, man. So I really don't know. man. Because I don't really follow them that much. I'm focused on this Big Ten because it's a lot. It's a lot to take in with all these new teams. I was trying to see. We don't even play USC this year or Washington, so we get Oregon and who else? Let's see. Who else do we get? Is it just Oregon? Pretty much, yeah. Oregon is the only one we get.
Y'all got Penn State.
Oregon, Penn State, and we got Michigan all the time.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering next year, or are they on the other side of the conference? Is it is that what that is?
Well, they don't even have any conferences. I mean, divisions at all. It's just every man for itself. So y'all might end up getting USC, Washington, and UCLA next year.
Yeah. So I'm kind of confused. I haven't really looked at it how they got it set up, but I know we go to Oregon, so that's a big time game. Now, imagine if we had to go to Michigan and Oregon. That would be kind of scary. You know what I'm saying? But I'm glad we got Michigan in the shoe. So that Oregon game, it's going to be a doozy. It's going to be a doozy. I'm not sitting here and saying, because we have a new quarterback. We have a new quarterback, and he's got to, find himself, in that offense. So I'm hoping he'll have it together by the time we play Oregon. So all you can do is sit back and watch, man, each week and see the growth, how the defense will play, how the offense will play, and special teams, all the phases, man. So that's a good thing. Nobody knows, man. Nobody knows, but we can sit here and speculate, and that's what we're doing. So
yeah.
We'll find out. I heard you built a pretty nice program down there in Texas too, man.
Yeah, they finally got a chance to get some guys in there. They've been having a hard time recruiting in Texas, though, man. A lot of them guys been going to your Ohio States and your LSU's, and we lost a couple of guys. But
they paying, we paying good. I don't understand that. Texas usually always spending all the money.
Yeah, start trying to get them guys to come just for the university and then trying to give them the money on the back end. But it's like, dude, you might want to put that money in front of them first.
Yeah.
And then tell them about the scoop.
Yeah, man. Ain't nothing wrong with it. They'll be all right. Who is y'all's big game? Is it Oklahoma?
We played Michigan second week.
Second week. Okay.
Then we got Oklahoma.
Where's that game at?
We come to Ann Arbor.
Y'all go to Ann Arbor?
Yeah. Then we got.
Why they didn't have that in the neutral site?
Well, we had agreed to do a home and home with them, so we got them. We go to them this year, and then in 2 years they come to Texas. We did a home and home with the Buckeyes too, and that's coming up too.
Coming up, all right.
Yeah.
Well, Gonna be a
And then
good.
we play Oklahoma, I think week 5 or 6, and then we got Georgia right after Oklahoma. Like, come on, man, are you serious?
Woo!
Yeah,
Must see TV, man.
must see TV for
Have
sure.
have you previewed your horns already? Your
Yeah,
Longhorn?
yeah. I previewed them and I had them going 11-1 or 10-2. I had
11.
them losing to Georgia, and I wasn't for sure about the Michigan game, so I said they're either gonna go 11-1 or 10-2, possibly losing to Michigan too.
Is Quinn Ewers the starter, or is it
Oh
Manny?
no, Quinn Ewers is the starter. Yeah, yeah. Quinn
Okay,
Ewers gonna ball out this year.
y'all still got Manning, right?
Yeah, we still got Manny. Yeah.
So waiting in the wings. Okay.
We actually played Georgia 2 years in a row. We did a home with Georgia before we joined the SEC. So we play them next year in Georgia.
In Georgia. Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
We got
Well,
them at home this year, and then we go to them next year.
I see y'all gonna probably be in that 12-team playoff too, though, man. So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I sure hope so. I sure hope so.
be all right, man. Well,
Yeah,
we'll touch base again, man. About to go handle some business, man. It's good. It was good doing the preview with you, man.
yeah, yeah. I appreciate you coming on, cuz.
Yes, sir, man. Hey, you have a good, blessed rest of your week, cuz.
All right, you too.
All right, man.
All
Peace.
right,
All right.
peace.
Yep.